Welcome to part 2 of our bridge quiz. Part 2, what we're going to be doing is setting up basically the rest of the components, defining the properties. So let's get started. First thing we need to do is define the hidden index. So each time the user clicks the next button to proceed through the quiz, the app needs to remember which question it's on. So in order to do that, we need to go to built-in built-in and definition, and get a global procedure here, and we're going to name it current question index. And remember, there's no space. And then go to built-in and go to math, and we're going to set it at the number 1 here. And then after that, let's talk about displaying the first question. We're going to go to My Blocks, and we're going to go to screen 1 here, and we need to select where it says when screen 1 is initialized, do this. Basically what we want it to do is we want it to display the first question. So in order to do that, we need to go to where it says question label, and we want it to set question label.text. And then from there we need to go to built-in and go to lists and get the one that says call select list item. So it'll bring up the question and the list, and from that we need to go to My Blocks, My Definitions, and select the global variable for question list. So it'll pick that list, and then it's going to pick a position in the list. So we go to built-in and go to math and define basically the number, which is 1. So it'll start with the first question in the question list that we've created. So let's see. And obviously we probably need to reset the blocks, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to keep going. We need to work on iterating or going through the questions, setting that up. So we need to set up the next button. So let's go to My Blocks and find the next button. And we need to find the event handler. So when the next button is clicked, we want it to do this. We're going to go to My Blocks and My Definitions, and we want to set global for current question index. And then we'll go to built-in and math, and we want to get the plus sign. And we are going to go to My Blocks, My Definitions, get the variable for current question index, and the number 1. And then after we have that, let's go to the question label, My Blocks question label, and we want to get the one that says set question label text to, and then go to built-in and lists and get the one that says call select list item, and we're going to define a list and then where it should start for that. So go to My Blocks, My Definitions, get the one that says global question list, so it'll look through the question list, and go back to My Blocks, My Definitions, and get current question index. So when the next button is clicked, it's basically going to go to the current question, and if it's already at number 1, it'll go to number 2. And then from there, it's also going to set the question label. And since I haven't put in all my questions, that's why I'm getting that answer. So I'll go ahead and start my emulator up, and we can continue working here. The next thing we need to do is we're going to add another control, because basically the reason it died right there is because after the third question it wasn't sure what to do. So let's go to built-in here and go to control, and we need to find the one that says if test then do, and we're going to drag that up to the top here, and we'll go to built-in and go to math and get the equal sign, and go to my blocks, my definitions, and get current question index. So we want it to test if the current question index is equal to, and we're going to do this. We're going to go to built-in and list and find length of list, and we want the length of the list. We'll go to my blocks, my definitions, and go to question list. So we want the current question index to equal the length list of the question list. So no matter how many questions we have here, if the question list is equal to the current question index, then it'll do this when we click the next button. Basically, no matter how many questions, it won't reset like mine just did. So after you've done that, you need to put in your then do this. So go to my blocks, my definitions, and do set global current question index, and then we'll go to math, built-in and math, and set the number at 0. Okay, next thing we need to do is set up our list for our pictures that we're going to be putting in. We haven't talked about that much. We'll go to built-in definition, and we're going to define a global variable like we did for our question and our answer list. We're going to name this one picture list. And we'll go to built-in, and under list, find the one that says make a list. And then go to built-in and text, and add a text. And we're going to name the text basically whatever our JPEG is. So let's look at this. If we go to our main page, we have image 1. And under properties, we have picture here. So we can click on that, and we're going to add in a picture like we've done in the past. And to get your pictures, basically I'm going to save them on the 506 and then Google App Inventor folder, and you'll see a folder called Bridge. But basically we have them saved. Let's see. So the first one was on this bridge here, so I'm going to put this picture in because that's what we'll be asking about first. And that's a good size picture. And basically, if you want, you can always just right click and save the image as. If you want to do different pictures, I'll probably have these 5 pictures. If any of these have pictures, I'll get those. So let's go back. So basically we need to look at the name of the picture that we put in. So if we go back to our page, this is the name here. So I would write that down and then type it in right here. So let's see if I can make this. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. So that's basically what you need to do for all 6. You're going to type in whatever you name the file, .jpg. And then once you have all 6 of those done, one for each of your questions, you need to go to the next button here, and you're going to go to My Blocks and go to Image 1 and find where it says Set Image 1 Picture to, and go to Built-in and Lists and do Select List Item, and then go back to My Blocks and My Definitions, and you're going to select Global Picture List, so that's the list we want it to choose from, and then go to My Blocks, My Definitions, and select Current Question Index. And we'll go ahead and open up your phone again, connect to your emulator, and go ahead and make sure that that first picture comes up. We'll see, it's going to take a second to come up here. But basically, once this comes up, we should see our picture, and we can try out what we've done so far in the app. Alright, and it looks like it's coming up here. Let's see what we got. Okay, so you can see now what we have is we have our picture, we've got our question with our answers, and submit and next. And we are almost done. So let's go ahead and end that for part 2, and we'll continue, we'll finalize. We just got just a few things left to do. We're almost done with the app. So go ahead and continue, just finish this up and then continue to part 3.